Most students don't struggle with money because they earn too little. They struggle because they never learn how financial control actually works. And without that understanding, even a decent income disappears faster than it arrives. This isn't about budgeting apps or side hustles. This is about recognizing the invisible behaviors that quietly steal your financial future before you even notice it's gone. Let's walk through the real reasons students stay broke and, more importantly, what you can do to change that pattern starting today. The awareness gap. Why money feels invisible. Here's the problem most students face. Money leaves their account in ways that feel too small to matter. A coffee here, a snack there, a ride share because walking felt inconvenient. None of these decisions feel significant in the moment, but significance isn't measured by individual purchases. It's measured by repetition. When you spend without tracking, your brain treats every transaction as isolated. It doesn't connect today's coffee to yesterday's coffee or last week's delivery fee to this week's impulse buy. Each decision stands alone, which means your mind never sees the real cost. This creates a dangerous illusion that spending is under control simply because no single purchase feels excessive. The solution isn't complicated, but it does require honesty. Start writing down what leaves your account. Not to judge yourself, not to create guilt, just to see the pattern your mind has been ignoring. Because once patterns become visible, control becomes possible. And control is where financial peace actually begins. Tauper is Korot. Salafite structure. Most people approach money backwards. They imagine the lifestyle they want, then hope their income supports it. This approach guarantees stress. Financial stability doesn't start with comfort. It starts with survival. Before anything else, identify your non-negotiable costs. Rent, food, transportation, the expenses that keep your life functional. These aren't optional. These aren't flexible. These are the foundation. Once you know what survival costs, you build everything else around it. Not the other way around. This might sound restrictive, but it's actually the opposite. When your foundation is secure, your mind stops operating in panic mode. You stop making fear-based decisions. You stop overspending to calm anxiety. You start thinking clearly because the ground beneath you feels solid. Structure doesn't limit freedom. Structure creates it. The real cost of convenience. There's a specific type of spending that drains student finances faster than almost anything else. Paying extra to avoid effort. Delivery fees. Rideshare apps. Prepared meals. Last-minute purchases because planning felt like work. Each of these transactions trades money for convenience, and in isolation, that trade might seem reasonable. But convenience spending operates on repetition, and repetition is where the real damage happens. Think about it this way. If you spend $5 avoiding a 15-minute walk, you're not just losing $5. You're establishing a pattern where discomfort becomes something you pay to avoid. Over time, that pattern normalizes overpaying for things you could easily do yourself. Students often have more time than money. Using time instead of spending money isn't a sacrifice. It's a strategic choice. Walking builds discipline. Cooking saves hundreds monthly. Waiting before buying prevents impulse decisions that later feel foolish. Convenience isn't inherently wrong. But when convenience becomes your default response to discomfort, it quietly erodes financial control without you noticing until the account is empty. The subscription trap. Here's a category of spending most students completely underestimate. Subscriptions. The reason subscriptions are dangerous isn't their cost. It's their invisibility. Payments happen automatically. No decision required. No effort needed. Money just leaves. And because each subscription feels small, the brain dismisses it as insignificant. $5 here, $10 there. $15 for something you signed up for 6 months ago and forgot about entirely. But small recurring charges become large annual losses, and most students are paying for services they barely use or don't even remember subscribing to. This creates a strange situation. You're losing money consistently, but because the loss happens passively, it never triggers the alarm that overspending usually does. The fix is simple but requires action. Go through your bank statement. Identify every recurring charge. Ask yourself if each service genuinely adds value to your life right now. Cancel what doesn't serve you. Not tomorrow. Today. Every subscription you remove increases monthly cash flow immediately. An increased cash flow reduces financial stress, which improves decision-making, which protects future income. 1 hour spent reviewing subscriptions can save hundreds over the next year. That's not dramatic. That's just math. The discount advantage nobody uses being a student gives you access to something valuable that most people ignore completely. Discounts designed specifically for you. Companies offer student discounts not out of generosity but because they want to build loyalty early. They know students often become long-term customers later in life. So they reduce prices now to secure future business. But here's what happens. Most students never ask. They assume the discount isn't available, or they feel awkward requesting it, so they pay full price unnecessarily. This isn't about saving a dollar here and there. It's about recognizing that small, consistent savings compound over time into something significant. Every month you use student discounts on software, transportation, food, or entertainment. You're keeping money that would have otherwise disappeared. That money doesn't just sit idle, it creates breathing room. It reduces financial pressure. It allows you to make calmer, more thoughtful decisions instead of reactive ones driven by stress. And reduced stress improves every area of life, not just finances. Ask for the discount every time. The brief discomfort of asking is temporary. The savings accumulate permanently. Scale is over hours. The income multiplier. Most students approach income the wrong way. They think more money requires more hours. So they work longer shifts, take extra jobs, sacrifice sleep and study time, all to earn a bit more. But this approach has a ceiling. Your time is finite. Your energy is limited. And trading hours for dollars creates exhaustion without building anything that lasts. There's a better path: skills. When you develop a skill that other people value, you don't just earn more per hour. You change the relationship between effort and income entirely. A skill compounds. The better you get, the more people want to work with you. Demand increases. Income follows. And unlike hourly work, skills create leverage. 1 hour of skilled work can outperform 10 hours of unskilled labor. This doesn't mean abandoning current work. It means deliberately learning something that increases your earning potential over time. Writing, design, coding, data analysis, video editing, marketing. Choose one. Learn it deeply. Use it consistently. As your skill improves, opportunities appear that didn't exist before. Opportunities that pay better, demand less time, and build momentum toward financial independence. Skills turn time into an asset. Hours just turn time into an exhaustion. The saving sequence that actually works here is a mistake almost every student makes. They try to save money only if something remains at the end of the month. This approach fails because spending naturally expands to fill whatever money is available. If you have it, you'll find a way to spend it. That's not weakness. That's human behavior. The only way saving works consistently is by reversing the order. You save first, before anything else, before spending, before comfort. Even if the amount feels small, even if it's just $10, even if it seems pointless, because the size of the savings isn't what matters early on. What matters is the habit. The habit builds discipline. Discipline strengthens over time, and discipline doesn't require motivation to function. It just runs automatically in the background, protecting your future without you having to think about it. Small savings build trust in yourself. That trust reduces reckless spending. Reduced spending increases security. Security replaces anxiety. Save first, spend second. Always. The debt decision. Debt is one of the most misunderstood financial tools students encounter. It's not inherently good or bad. It's contextual. The question isn't whether you should avoid debt entirely. The question is, does this debt improve your future earning power? Debt used for education that leads to better career opportunities can make sense. Debt used for tools or certifications that increase skills can make sense. Debt used for things that appreciate and value or generate income can make sense. But debt used for comfort? Debt used for lifestyle upgrades? Debt used to impress others or avoid temporary discomfort? That debt doesn't improve your future. It steals from it. Because once interest starts compounding, debt becomes a burden that grows independently of your intentions. It doesn't care if you're struggling. It doesn't pause during difficult months. It just continues accumulating, quietly reducing your future flexibility and limiting options you don't even know you'll want yet. Before taking on any debt, ask yourself one question. Will this directly increase my ability to earn money in the future? If the answer is no, walk away. Future you will thank present you for that discipline. Knitting below means, not below peers. One of the most destructive forces in student finance isn't income, it's comparison. You see other students with new phones eating out constantly, wearing expensive clothes, taking trips, and living what appears to be a comfortable, easy life. So you assume they can afford it. You assume you should be able to afford it too. But here's what you don't see: the debt, the parental support, the credit card balances, the financial stress hidden behind confident appearances. Most people hide struggle behind consumption. They spend to project success even when they're drowning privately. And when you compare yourself to that projection, you make spending decisions based on incomplete information. This creates a dangerous cycle. You spend to keep up with people who are overspending, to keep up with others who are also overspending. Everyone's chasing an illusion, and everyone's sacrificing future security for temporary validation. Living below your means doesn't mean living poorly. It means building in silence while others perform for attention. That silent progress compounds into real confidence over time. The kind of competence that doesn't require external validation because it's built on actual stability instead of borrowed appearances. Your financial decisions should serve your future, not your audience. The 48-hour rule. Here's a simple filter that protects more money than almost any other strategy: delay. Most purchases are driven by genuine need. They're driven by emotional urgency. Something feels necessary in a moment, so you buy it immediately to resolve the discomfort. But emotional urgency fades, usually within 24 to 48 hours. When you delay a purchase even briefly, something interesting happens. The excitement cools, the pressure disappears, and what felt essential yesterday often reveals itself as completely unnecessary today. This isn't about deprivation, it's about creating space between impulse and action. That space allows logic to return. Logic protects money without requiring constant willpower. Over time, the money saved through delayed decisions adds up significantly. But more importantly, delaying purchases builds patience. Patience builds discipline, and discipline builds long-term financial control that doesn't collapse the moment emotions run high. Want something? Wait 2 days. If it still feels necessary after 48 hours, buy it. If it doesn't, you just save money without feeling like you sacrifice anything meaningful. Most of the time, the urge fades, and faded urges don't cost anything. See Equich. Final thought: saving money as a student isn't about suffering. It's not about restriction or deprivation or living miserably, while everyone around you seems to be enjoying life. It's about recognizing that financial discipline today creates freedom tomorrow. The habits you build now determine whether your 20s and 30s are guided by choice and stability or controlled by stress and regret. Every small decision compounds, every delayed purchase builds patience. Every dollar saved creates options you don't yet know you'll need. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be intentional. So out of everything we've covered, which habit feels most important for your situation right now? What's the one thing you could change this week that would make the biggest difference? Think about it, then act on it. Because understanding doesn't create results. Action does. And if this helps shift how you think about money, consider subscribing to AR Investor. We focus on practical financial education that actually works in real life, not theory that sounds good but fails under pressure. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.